And with that, here we are. I hope everybody is going to make it over easily and smoothly. Howdy, my lovely folks. I hope everybody's well. We're going to start grammar. Colton said he'll be back in a couple of minutes. And my mama says, hi, Jace. Howdy. We're going to start up with Qal Imperfect and Imperative with suffixes and infinitives. Oh, my God. I don't know if you know, but when we were covering the grammar with Weingreen, we've got Muriel back with us, and also Seow and Michael. Howdy, guys. So we covered Weingreen grammar, and we went over these things pretty intensely, and it was a great time, but I don't really like how Seow presents them. But we're going to push through it anyway. So I'm going to call this up to screen, and we'll wait for Colton to come back before I put him back on stage. And we will start looking at what we got in this presentation. Okay, so this is Biblical Hebrew 101. I don't know if you noticed, but I changed the tint of this slide, made it a little blue, and I kind of like it, and added some words. These words are some of my favorite words from the Bible. They're from the Psalms. Yihiyu leratzon imrei fi vehegyon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Yihiyu here is a jussive. We talked about jussives last week and a bit the week before. How do I know it's jussive? Because it's pulled to the front of the sentence. It says, may they be for pleasure, meaning may they be pleasing. Okay? Imrei fi, the words of my mouth. May the words of my mouth be pleasing. Vehegyon libi, and the meditation of my heart. This is from the word lahagot, to meditate. We see this verb, yege yomam valayla, in Psalm chapter 1, that he meditates on your words day and night. Vehegyon libi lefanecha, before you. Okay? Adonai tzuri, my rock, v'goali, my redeemer. So may the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be pleasing before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Some words that have stuck with me over the years that sit in the soul. Maybe someday we'll go over how to sing them according to the tradition that I know. Anyway, toda rabba shuv pa'am. What's that?
No, I just think that would be fun.
Yeah, totally. תודה רבה לכל חברינו וחברותינו. Okay, חברים, we have on the left. I started a new tier scheme on Patreon. I think it's more reasonable, and I hope that can bring in some more people. You guys can join me on screen. You can join now for as low as $5, and if you want to give bigger support, then you're welcome to that as well. But you can go to patreon.com/thehebrew and get the details. Okay, so we are looking at object suffixes. Colton, is this your favorite topic in the whole world?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, obviously.
It is. It's getting there now that I know how to do it. I struggled with it for so long, and I'm not by no means perfect, but not because it was like the concept itself is not hard. It's just like, okay, this is a different word. This has different weak form, whatever. But I'm getting a lot better at them, so I do enjoy doing them now.
The goal, of course, is not to be able to predict all possible forms as a student of Hebrew. The goal is to be able to say, oh, okay, that is a suffix form, right? That's a suffix. So yishpot means he will judge, or may he judge. It could be told as future or as a jussive, right? Uriel is a jussive. When you add a suffix, for example, me, okay, the suffix in the future and imperative are going to generally go with a forms instead of a forms, which were in the past. So the o here, yishpot, will reduce before this, and it will become yishpet. Yishpeteni. Yishpeteni, may he judge me, or let him judge me. Yishpeteni. Okay, so we're going to look at all of these suffix forms to add on to verbs, and we'll try to cover them as well as we can. It's really a difficult topic. Canvas says Shuv Anikan, which is I'm here again. Good, welcome back. Okay, so lesson 17.
Donovan. Yeah.
What's that?
That's Donovan in the Discord server.
That's Donovan. Howdy. Hi, Donovan. I'm not good at recognizing names, and I'm really bad with.
It's okay. I mean, his doesn't have like anything. Like, I just know it because I've been in the call with him. It takes when we're in call, I almost call him Canvas every time I go to say his name, and then I have to stop and think, what is? And that's not his name, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm really bad with abbreviations. Like at work, somebody wrote on a shift change. They say, "Wait for B2 or BT for this guest," and I'm like, "What is BT?" And like I start to panic because I can't, like on the nerdy language group, they always use abbreviations. Like what was the one? I think they had ET for something. I don't know, something theology. ET or
evangelical theology.
Maybe, but they just use abbreviations for everything, and my brain does not process abbreviations, which is a problem for Hebrew because in Hebrew you often use abbreviations. So I had to.
I cannot stand. I mean, parsing's annoying as it is, but when people they just say 2ms instead of second masculine singular. It drives me crazy. At least tell me that you know what they mean. Or have you just associated like
Well, my brain just doesn't, and I can sit there for 10 minutes just trying to figure out what does BT mean. And so finally I call someone on the phone and I say, it says to wait for BT for guest blah blah blah. What is BT? And they say bank transfer. I'm like, why doesn't somebody just write bank transfer? It doesn't save you that much on the keyboard, you know? Anyway, so in Hebrew we do this where we have like we could very easily say yishpot. Oops, I'm not writing on the right thing. We can very easily say yishpot, oto, and that is a perfectly wonderful sentence. Yishpot oto, he will judge him. Yishpot oto. But there's something about these evil, wicked, devilish Semitic languages that makes them, instead of saying yishpot oto, they want to say yishpetehu. And what does ehu mean? Oto. Yishpetehu, he will judge him. Oh my God, why do they do that? Why not just say yishpot oto? I don't know.
We can say a whole sentence in one word.
Yeah, he will judge him. The he is indicated by this, the him is indicated by this, and the judge is indicated by that. Yishpetehu, he will judge him. That is fun. All right, so we looked at the past tense, the perfect, the katal of verbs like shamal. Okay, shamal is he kept. And we would add o for him, and we would say shmaro. Shmaro, he kept him. Yada is he knew. And yidda'o, he knew him. Matzah is he found. Matzah. And metza'o, he found him. Okay, where the o means him. And you could say you could say her. He found her, mitza'ah. Okay, so today we're going to look at what happens when we use this in the yiktol, or the future. So for he took her would regularly be lakach ota, and the object could be added such that we get lekacha, he took her, from lakacha. We're thinking about we're going to think about the vowels here as a, and then the a is the suffix here. And so this syllable is near, it becomes long. This syllable is distant, it reduces. Remember our rules of near and distant. Lekacha. Okay? All right. In this chapter, we'll look at how essentially the same set of suffixes can be added to yiktol and tzivui. Tzivui is litzavot, mitzvah. Mitzvah is a commandment. And letzavot, tziva means he ordered, he commanded. Tziva, see, I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. Tziva, and the act of commanding is called tzivui.
Yeah.
Tzivui.
Like
So
commanded,
tzivui is,
right?
this is the word that we use for imperative in modern Hebrew, in grammar.
It looks like the third hey passive participle, but in imperative, but in PL.
It's the pattern like this where it's e u with dagesh in the middle. So our example would be dibur,
Dibur. Okay.
speech. Dibur is speech. Sipur is a story, like telling something. L'saper. It's the same pattern. Sivui. Okay. For example, when Isaiah receives his call in Isaiah 6:8, okay, he says, Va eshma et kol Adonai. Notice this is Adonai, Yud Hey Vav Hey. How do I know? Because there's a kamatz. Kamatz is God's name. Va eshma et kol Adonai. I heard the voice of God. Omer, et mi eshlach. Who shall I send? Et mi eshlach. Mi yelech lanu. And who will go for us? Umiyelech lanu. Va'omar, and I said, Hineni shlacheni. Shlacheni. Okay, shlacheni is the imperative, shlach, and the suffix eni, which is I. We'll talk about what happens with the gutturals here and why this is long in a couple of minutes. Okay, so he says, whom shall I send? Et mi eshlach. Eshlach, I will send. Whom shall I send? He's asking a question of himself. Shlacheni, shlacheni, send me. Like hineni, here I am. Hineni, shlacheni, send me. Okay? Hineni, shlacheni. That's really good examples of what we're doing today. For both the O thematic vowel verbs, remember we said that there are three thematic vowels in the future, in the Qal. We have a, or o, a, and a. O, a, and a. This means cholam. Sorry. Cholam. This is tzere. And this is patach. Okay? Specifically patach, not kamatz. Cholam, tzere, and patach. This is why it's long. Cholam, long, tzere, and short, patach. Okay? These are our three thematic vowels in the future. So one would say yishpot and yichrot, and one will say yelech and eten with the e sound, and then you'll have yishma and yishkav with the a. So we've got three different thematic vowels for the Qal. I hope that was imparted to you in previous sessions. So with the O and E, the O and E, when you add a suffix to it, the vowels tend to reduce to shva. Okay, but it goes to the short form O and E, like kamatz, like this, kamatz katan, and segol, with the second person suffixes, okay, because they don't have a vowel associated with them. So let's look at this. So yishpot, this is my model that I'm using right now. Yishpot, he will judge, okay? He will judge you. The ending for you is cha, okay? Yishpot techa, because there's no vowel associated with it. This one acts as a closed syllable. Yishpot cha. The consonant here is soft as far as the dagesh is concerned, because this is a medial shva. Medial shva that I've talked about a lot, where it's both closing the syllable, so it's O, and also opening the next syllable so that this is soft, without reged kefet dagesh, the dagesh kal. Was that too much?
Yeah, you're fine.
Donovan says that his Israeli friends call him Doni. Doni and not Dani, because Donovan, Doni. Very nice. If they call you Dani, then it would be with an A, which Dani is like short of Daniel, and Dani is would be my judge. Because Dan is one who judges, like Dayan that we talked about in the last segment. My mom says hi. That's Lori. She's my mom. Let's see. They use this form a lot in Hebrew subs on TV. Yep. And I wonder why they do it so frequently. Well, I don't know, because Doni isn't really a common name in Hebrew. It would be written like Do-ni.
Oh, is he talking about his name? I was thinking like he's talking about this verb form of like using the shoot.
He might. I might be wrong.
Yeah, like using the suffixed verbs, maybe just because it takes up less space on the screen.
I don't know. It's not so common in spoken Hebrew. It's more like when you're quoting something.
Yeah.
Right. So this is Yishmor. When you add the any ending for me, then the vowel here, the O, reduces, and it's Yishmereni. But if it's before Cha or Chem or Chen, then it becomes Yishmor Cha, Yishmor Chem. Hashem Yishmorcha mikol ra. The Lord will protect you from all evil. Yiten, he will give. This is an E thematic verb. Yiteneni, the ten becomes tn. Yiteneni, he will give me. It can be he will give to me, li. He will give to me, yiteneni, or he will put me in something, yiteneni. Yitencha. Yitencha. Okay, it's like it's closed. Medial shva. Yitencha. Okay. For athematic verbs in the Qal, when you add the suffix, the vowel actually lengthens. It doesn't reduce. So yishma, yishma'acha, he will hear you. Yishma'eni, not yishme'eni, but yishma'eni. So this is the difference between the A theme from the E theme and O theme. Note, this is from Seow. All Qal imperative forms of the Qal type lengthen the A, the patach vowel, to A, kamatz, before the object suffix. Okay, that's a comment from Seow, just indicating what I'm telling you here. So shma, shma'eni, shim'u, shma'uni. Shma, shma'eni, hear me. Shim'u, listen. Shma'uni, listen to me. Shma'uni. Okay, you would expect it like shima'uni or something. All right. So keeping him. All of these are the verbs that are put together for keeping him. Notice that we don't have any examples of aten ever adding any suffix, the aten forms. That includes aten in the imperative, in the Qal. Also, the hen forms in the imperative and the Qal are missing, as well as the tishmeri. These are missing from the language.
Yeah, it would presumably be the same as the masculine in the anyway, right? They're both they're both liquids. They're both nasals or liquids, so I'd imagine they drop out similarly. So shemartuhu, right? I just imagine it would be the same.
Tishmerihu. Tishmerihu. The problem is it doesn't. There's no examples. So
yeah, I'm specifically talking about the second plural. Yeah, the second plural.
The tomb and tune would probably be the same.
Yeah.
But we don't have any examples for any verb. Like it just doesn't exist. So there's no reason to learn a form that doesn't exist at all anywhere. All right. So the infinitive construct is leshomrehu. Leshomrehu. It could also be leshomro. Leshomro, to keep him. We're going to learn these forms like this. Leshomrehu, leshomro, to keep him, or keeping him. We already talked about shmaro, like shma'o and yeda'o, lekacho. Shmaro means he kept him. Shmartiv, it's like shamarti oto, shmartiv, shamarti oto. Shamarta oto, shmarto, shamarta oto, shmarto. Shamart oto, shmartiv. Notice that they are the same, because there was a time in the past where the second feminine singular was the same as what we use now for the first common singular. So shamarti and shamarti. And it was that ambiguity, shamarti and shamarti, that caused the E to drop off of the feminine form, and it just became shamart. And that's why that shva is setting on the end of it. Shamart. And that shva is sitting there indicating the dropping of the T vowel, the E. Shamart is shamarti from history. Okay. Forms go through, language goes through change over time, and that's one of the things that changed. Okay. Shmaratu. This is she kept him. She protected him. Shmaratu. The who is missing, and it's just u. Shmaratu. Okay. Shmarnuhu. We kept him. Shmarnuhu. Shmartuhu. This is shmartem. Shmartem oto. Shmartuhu. And shmaruhu. They kept him. They protected him. I know this is all new and confusing, but notice that the ending vav represents him, he, him. Okay, so vav. The vav is all over. The difference is if it's who or o. And in front of e, you can't say o. So it's shmartiv, becomes a consonant. All right, the one keeping him, shomro. He keeps him, shomro. Shomarto. This is the consonant cluster is brought back from shomeret, shomarto, keeping him. These are very rare, by the way. These are not common. This is more common, shomrav and shomrenu, keeping us. Shomrotav, his keepers, female keepers. Okay, looking through the comments real quick. Okay. The future is going to operate more on, it's more often going to appear with an inserted nun, an N into it. So enhu becomes doubled ennu, like mimenu and mimenhu both mean the same thing. Mimenhu has the hey will suck up inside that nun, mimenu, and that means from him, with the hey that's been assimilated. We talked about this, right? I think I want to draw this out because it's okay. So to say from is min. When it takes preposition or suffixes, it becomes min. It reduplicates. This is reduplication. Okay, min. Okay, it reduplicates. With the reduplication, you end up with a nun against another letter that assimilates into it. So me, and the vowel just colors as a compensatory thing. Me, men. And then you add the suffix, which is ni. Okay, this ni will assimilate, and you get me many. And me many means from me. Me many is from min men ni. Me many. So when we say him, we got the min men. Okay, and the ending is who. Me men who. But the hey in this case assimilates into the nun, and we get mi menu. Mi menu from him. Mi menu. But look at this. Men becomes mi men. Okay, mi men. And then the ending for us is nu. Mi men nu. And now you have two nus right beside each other. This one assimilates because it just softens the sound, and we get mimenu, mimenu and mimenu. This is why from him and from us are the exact same form in Hebrew. Mimenu and mimenu. They're the same word. Did you realize that? You know how we avoid this in modern Hebrew? You know how we avoid it in modern Hebrew?
You just change it.
Yes. Yes.
Mimenu, and then mimehu. I don't know. Did you just use who instead of a nu?
Let's show you. Mimenu we keep as from him.
Okay.
And mimenu we keep it. We say mimenu from now on means from him. And what we do, we replace the us form with me itanu.
Okay.
Me itanu from with us.
Yeah.
From with us. So me itanu means from us, and mimenu means from him. And if you use mimenu for from us, it causes confusion in the language. It's like in ancient Greek where you had humes for you, and himes for us. And then all of these sounds started sounding the same, and it became himis, imis, 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 and imis. These you can't have that distinction. That's a distinction that can't exist. And so over time they changed the actual forms to match the fact that the sounds had changed. Yeah. HFTF, hi, abbreviation. In Israeli Hebrew, that's IH, mimenu is common. Yes, because mimenu is for him, by analogy with other U forms or O forms. Yeah, exactly. But we don't tend to use mimenu for meitanu, from us. Because it's just easier to keep them separate. Okay, so yishmerehu, or it could also be yishmerenu, okay, because the N is an alternative. You'll see that in the book. Ehu or ennu. Okay, so eshmerehu or eshmerenu. Tishmerehu or tishmerenu. It's the same. Tishmerenu. Nishmerehu, nishmerenu. I only put it in the slots that I could fit two of them in. Tishmeruhu, yishmeruhu. Could also be tishmerunu, I believe. Tishmerunu doesn't feel right, but doesn't feel right. Tishmeruhu. Maybe there's no tishmerunu. I'm just going by my feelings.
Yeah.
My feelings are not always perfect. Okay, same thing. Instead of vav, the hey is the representative part of her. So shmartiha, I kept her. Shmarta, you kept her. Shmartiha, also you feminine. At shmartiha. Hu shmara. He shmarata. Okay, remember that this one kind of takes a funny turn. Okay, so it's built on, okay, remember the historical form was shamara. Shamara, with this accent here. But the ah ending is almost always really a taf that's missing. Taf, shamarat, shamarat. Okay, so when we add the ah ending, we're actually just going to add ah, okay, and this is going to be like ha, but we want the hey to indicate the vowel. So it's a hey that's missing, that's assimilated into the taf. And then we have to deal with the accent shift. It always shifts before the end of the word in the third feminine singular. So we have near, which is a long. We have distant, which is reduced. And we get shmarat a, shmarata. Okay, this is what led to the confusion of forms in Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, when she hid them in the roof, when Rachav hid them in the roof, we had a weird form there because of the akta ending.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shmarnuha. These forms they don't appear with the feminine endings. and shmaruha. So we're looking at the future. These are always enna endings, not eha. These are always enna. In the, I've made a mistake there. That's not right. So eshmerena, tishmerena, yishmerena, tishmerena, nishmerena, tishmeruha, because you won't have the noon in front of that, and yishmeruha. Same here. Shomreha, probably no. It's shomra, 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 with dagesh. Shomra, keep her. Le shomra, to keep her, and shimruha, keep her. Okay. That's a lot of information. The idea is that when we looked at the past tense, the pronominal suffixes, okay, this was the past, could take type A or type B. Type C is used with plurals, okay, like Elai, Elecha, Elaich. I know those aren't plurals, but Adonai, Adonecha, Adonaich, Adonav, Adoneha, Melachai, Melachea, Melachecha, Melachaich, and so on. Okay, these go with plurals generally and certain prepositions. In the future and imperative, we're going to use these type B. That is normally the ones that have a noon infix. Okay, this can be also nu, like ennu. Okay, but we're going to do with type B. And so with the imperfect, this is what it will look like. Enni, the cha and ech are normal. Ehu or ennu. Okay, so we've got the N element. Okay, let's look at this cleanly. Enni is clear, it's normal. But enni has the noon infix. Right, you see the difference? The dagesh. Cha is regular, and eka, that's with the noon infix. We saw that in our reading today. Mimekka, with the noon infix. Eka. Ech will be the same because the noon infix would just disappear. There's no dagesh at the end of the word, whatever. Ehu or ennu. Eha or enna. Enu or ennu. And then all the rest are the same. Okay. I know it's a lot of information. You should just don't try to memorize all of this. Just look at how they normally go. That is okay, like e with the noon, any, ni, whatever, ka, cha. Just look at how they look, and then whenever you get into reading, then it will make better sense for you. Okay, that's a lot. Infinitives. There are two types of infinitives. What is an infinitive? Sorry, let's look at this. What's the etymology of the hey or nun in the future forms? Why are two forms found? Why are two forms found?
Well, we don't know why, but we know we have a name for it. Like the energic or the paragogic noon is what that is. So they're called that because at least a generation of scholars thought that it was similar to, is it Arabic that has an energic form? It's like an emphatic form that I want to think that has a noon input in between them. And that might have been true at some point in the shared history of the two languages. But by the time we get to the Bible, what's in the Bible, we don't actually know. It doesn't actually seem to be doing a whole lot. It could just be remnants of that previous meaning, but there's not really any, but there's no real scholarly consensus on what the paragogic noon or the energic noon is doing. But
I was just going to say, I don't know.
Yeah, which is essentially what I said, just with a lot more words. But yeah, I mean, that's the best answer that I can give. I think anyone can give right now. And there are probably scholars that have their pet theories or whatever, but
you know me, I don't like pet theories.
Yeah.
No, but
I just
I
look real
really I don't know. I think it's just to make it fun. Yeah. So if you look at the verse we went over last week, here I'll throw it up again. From Numbers chapter 11, right? Was it 11 or 5? May the Lord bless you and keep you.
I don't remember.
Let's start with 5 and say,
It's the Aaronic blessing, right?
yeah. Yevarechecha. Okay, there it is. Number 6:24. Okay. The first verse looks normal. Yevarechecha and Yishmerecha. That's exactly, this is pause. The pause form causes the which makes it different from what we said. We said when it's the chaf suffix that it becomes yishmocha, which is true. Yishmocha. But when it goes into pause, the shva lengthens to segol, and it just acts like any other that has a vowel connective. So yishmerecha, he may keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha. Ya'er is a Joseph. Vichuneka. What is that ka on the end? Vichuneka. The ka is the energic noon inside of the kaf. Even not. It might. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so in the noon, in the middle of the word, is a dagesh. Because this is chet nun nun. The future is yachon. It's kal. This is kal. It doesn't look kal. It looks like pual. But it's kal because yachon, as the future of this verb, yachon becomes yichun with a suffix. So the nun inside of the dot inside of the nun is the second nun because the root is chet nun nun. So it's two nuns backed up against each other. And then the dagesh inside of the kaf is the energic nun being assimilated. Vihu neka. Okay, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Okay, a good example again, Psalm 120, I believe. Is it 120 that says, no, that's another Shir Lamalot. What's the one that's Shir Lamalot? Isa inai larim. Isa inai. Okay, there we go. 121, not 120. שיר למעלות, אשא עיני להרים, מאין יבוא עזרי, עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ. אל ייתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומרך. Okay, שומרך, this is שומרך, but it's got a stress on it because it's in pause. Let's see, שומרך, I wanted to look at a specific verb form, ישמור את נפשך, אדוני ישמורך. The Lord will keep you. Adonai yishmorcha. Adonai yishmor tzedcha u'porecha me'ata va'ad olam. There was also here, the yakeka. That's an interesting form. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka. This is exactly the same thing. It's yake otcha. The hey on the end is just the sound ah. It normally would not be included. I'll show how it normally should look if we're thinking in terms of the standard spelling. I'm sorry to go off on tangents, but that's what I do. So yake is the verb. Colton, you recognize it, right? No problem. Yeah. What binyan is it in, Yake?
Yeah, sorry, it's in it's in the Hifil.
It's
was
in
muted.
Hifil, yes.
I was talking, I was just muted.
So Yake otcha, he will strike you. And it's talking about the sun. Hashemesh lo yake otcha. The sun will not strike you. Hashemesh lo yake otcha. Instead of yake otcha, it's going to add the suffix cha to yake, and the hey drops off. The hey always drops off on third hey, third yod roots before suffixes. So yake ke, and then the nun that assimilates into the chaf becomes yakeka. Yakeka. It means it will strike you, or he will strike you. But in this verse, they write yakeka with a final hey that we should really ignore. It doesn't mean anything. The final hey is an accident there. Like where we saw today in our reading, ve'ata is missing the word, the hey, but asita has the hey. And asita just means asita. The hey is superfluous. And that's what we have here with yakeka. The hey should not be there. The form is actually yakeka.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's more than I wanted to get into today, but okay.
Sorry.
So the infinitives are infinitives because finite means bound or controlled or put into limitations. Okay, finite. So infinite or infinitive means it's unbounded, unrestricted. It doesn't have the definitions. What definitions are we talking about? That is tense, aspect, and mood or modality. This is TAM. Person, gender, and number. These things are not represented in infinitives, even though in Greek this is untrue because aspect is reflected in the verb, the infinitive, right? Because you have the present infinitive and the aorist infinitive.
Right.
You also have perfect infinitives and whatever.
I think. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It'd still be like that. That aspect is still like not the infinitive though. It's not. Yeah. It's the It is the verbal aspect that's doing that. Yeah. It's just
So we're going to say that they're unmarked. So for example, shamarti is specifically marked as perfect. That's the TAM. Okay. Whatever you take katal to mean. First common singular, PGN. First common person, gender, number. While tishmeri is specifically marked as imperfect as far as time is concerned, and second person feminine singular for the future or the irreal. In each case, the subject of the verb is limited to agreement with a specific group of agents, actors, subjects. And if we add a suffix, we limit it even more to the specific reference that can be understood from the verb. For example, yishmerena indicates that the subject is limited to male and the object is limited to female. Okay, this could be grammatical gender, doesn't have to be biological. Yishmerena, he kept her, he protected her. All right, infinitives do not generally agree with any subject. They are not marked for subject, masculine, feminine, whatever. However, they can get around this by using pronominal suffixes. Okay, so two types of infinitives in Hebrew are the infinitive absolute, that is the adverbial infinitive according to John Cook and Robert Homestead, and the infinitive construct, which is the only thing that they call the infinitive. The Cook and Homestead, they call this the infinitive, the construct, and the other they call the adverbial infinitive. Okay, so normally used, this is for purpose or as a complementary infinitive. I want to go, I want to eat, or as a gerund, like eating is very important. Okay, so this week we're specifically looking at the infinitive absolute in the Qal, binyan Qal. Next week we'll look at the infinitive construct in the Qal. And so the principles and uses are the same for other binyanim, but the forms are specific to the Qal in these two chapters. So the infinitive absolute is a controversial grammatical form in Hebrew since it's very flexible. It can be used for a lot of things, even replacing in finite verbs and imperatives. If you look at the 10 Commandments, Exodus chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 5, you're going to see a difference in the fourth commandment, where in Exodus it says, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadisho, and Zachor is an infinitive absolute being used as an imperative. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And Deuteronomy 5:11 says the same commandment, but instead of Zachor, it says Shamor. Shamor et Yom HaShabbat lekadisho, meaning like keep the Sabbath to make it holy. keep it by making it holy. So we say in our prayer book, Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad. Dibur is the word for the commandments, the 10 commandments. So in one saying, the Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad, like in one commandment, the one saying, there are 10 Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 commandments. In one saying, we have one of them says Shamor and the other says Zachor. Okay, so this is the form of the Qal Infinitive Absolute. This is a root, any root letter, right? And so the form is A and O. That's the form, A-O. So you have Shamar, it's Shamor. You have Halach, it's Haloch. You have Achal, it's Achol. The form is A-O. It's very simple, one of the most consistent things in the Hebrew language. If you look it up in a good grammar book, you're going to see that the uses are multitudinous. They are all over the place. Sometimes you find them even used for a past tense. So as far as word order is concerned, this is relevant. We'll see in just a second. The unmarked word order in biblical Hebrew is, contrary to common thought, subject, verb, object. Jonathan would love that we're talking about this because it's his obsession. This means that Moshe Hotzi et ha'am mitzrayim is standard, unmarked word order in biblical Hebrew. Moshe Hotzi et ha'am mitzrayim. Moses brought out the people from Egypt. That is normal word order, and a lot of people disagree with that. Much like German,
and they're all
Hebrew,
wrong. And
they're
anyone
all wrong.
is wrong.
It's true. The Hebrew verb seeks to find its seat in the second position of the sentence. Okay? So in this case, Moshe is the subject. Hotzi is the verb, and the verb is in the second place. Moses is in the first place, is the subject. The second place is the verb, and everything else is tangential. It's not so important. Okay? But the verb wants to be in that second position. Okay? The first position may be occupied, as it often is, by temporal markers. Okay, let's look at an example. Tmol hotzi Moshe et ha'am mitzrayim. And the verb is in second position, and we have an adverbial tmol, etmol, yesterday. Yesterday, Moses brought the people out of Egypt. Now, the subject wants natural to be in first position, but it doesn't fight for it. If anything else takes first position, then the subject falls back behind the verb. Tmol hotzi Moshe et ha'am mitzrayim. Yesterday, Moses brought the people out of Egypt. Okay? The object or some other element may be moved into first position for focus or for topicalization. Mitzrayim hotzi Moshe et ha'am. It's the same words. Same words. The word order has changed, that the prepositional phrase is moved to the beginning. Mitzrayim hotzi Moshe et ha'am. Verb sits in second place, second position, and Moshe goes after the verb. What happens that we have vayikach or vayotze Moshe et ha'am mitzrayim. Vayotze Moshe. This is the most common word order in the Bible. Vayotze. We have vayiktol in the beginning. This is the vayiktol of the hifil. He brought out. Moses brought out. So the hifil makes it look like the verb is in first position. The vayiktol makes it look like the verb is in first position. The verb in essence is really in second position, and we need to think of this vai with the dagesh element as a first position occupier. The verb cannot separate from it. The narrative past is something is here that is occupying first position and putting the verb in its second position and making the subject drop behind the verb. But this element, we don't know what it is necessarily. It could be ve'az and then becoming va with dagesh, something missing. Okay, could be a number of things. And this has been proposed. Ve'az karase, ve'az, karase. We don't really know. We don't really know. But the point is we should always think of the verb in that construction as the second position, not the first position. The natural language of Hebrew, the natural word order is not verb, subject, object. That is a misnomer, and I will fight it till the day I die. So the word order is in this way answering specific questions. Okay, so when we say Mi Mitzrayim hotzi Moshe et ha'am, it's asking from where did Moses bring the people out? Mi Mitzrayim hotzi Moshe et ha'am. So this is fronted. It's called. It's been made the topic or the focus of the sentence. From Egypt, Moses brought out the people. Okay, that's topic or focus. We could say from where. What's that?
I was just gonna say, and like, what is focus in a general sense? Is it's not just like emphasis. Emphasis is too broad, but like, but focus is actually eliminating another possibility.
Yeah, it's so, representing opposition and calling your attention to something.
Yeah, and so it's negating. So when we put Mi Mitzrayim, it's not from from
California
or California. It's from Egypt and not from this other place. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in that first position, we can put when. When did he do it? From where did he do it? Who did it? In the first position, all these question words can go into the first position. And the answers serve to distinguish the claim from other possibilities, the other claims. Like we said, like you said, from California, from Egypt.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were getting there.
Okay, so why is this important to us? Because if we have a sentence that the verb is in second position, okay, and we want to emphasize where he came from, what can we do? We move the prepositional phrase to the beginning of the sentence. If we want to emphasize when it was done, we can move the time to the beginning of the sentence. If we want to emphasize how many times it was done, we want to push that as opposition to something else, we can move it to the front of the sentence. How do you move the verb, which wants to be in second position, to the front of the sentence? How can you do that? If you want to pull topic, onto the verb, how do you do that? You pull topic onto the verb by using the infinitive absolute. Yeah. It's like we said, not from California, but from Egypt. It's not, he didn't walk, he ran. He didn't sit, he stood. Okay, and so that emphasis when you say okay, so for example, if you eat from this tree, you will
surely die.
You will die. It's a way of underlining the verb. It's not saying you will, if you eat from this tree, you will feel bad. If you eat from this tree, it will upset your stomach. If you eat from this tree, you will fall asleep early tonight. If you eat from this tree, you will die. Okay, that is the infinitive absolute. Traditionally, we say you will surely die. Why do we say surely die or certainly die? Because we don't have a way in old, maybe in old printers, to underline the word or to put it in italics. This was covered recently by Dr. Scott Callahan in Douglas Smith's YouTube channel, Studying the Biblical Languages.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and open that. I put a link here.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say this is, if I remember right, this is what Callahan wrote his dissertation on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is Douglas Smith's YouTube channel. And if you go down, there are two videos that feature Dr. Scott Callahan, one after the other, and they talk specifically about the uses of the infinitive absolute and how interesting it is to biblical Hebrew and how he understands and teaches it. And I think that he is onto something. He does a great job, and you guys should go and watch those. It's 45 minutes, about 45 minutes each video. Again, his channel is called Studying the Biblical Languages. So go and check that out. All right, basically the infinitive absolute, what Dr. John Cook calls the adverbial infinitive, enables us to essentially pull focus onto the verb. Since the verb wants to sit in second position, we make a copy of the verb with a different vocalization. In the Qal, it's a-o, and insert it before the verb to put the verb in focus. If the verb has to be fronted because it's jussive or because some other volitional arrangement, the infinitive absolute can drop in behind it. But most of the time it will be before it. Thus, the infinitive absolute in its most common use answers the question, what will the person do? It's like using italics for the verb. He will sleep rather than stay up all night. Okay? These are our verbs. We got a lot to still go through. We're going to have to cut something into our third hour this time because I'm not going to be here on Thursday. So to be a stranger, lazur from zal is a stranger. We also use muzav for strange, like a weird person. Chagal is to gird or to strap on a belt. Lachgor, to be clean. Tameh, liot tameh, liot tameim. To add, yasaf, yasaf. I don't know the infinitive for this. Yasaf, I don't know. Because normally we use it in the hifil hosif. To add, to increase, to continue. Yasar, to discipline or to chasten. It's related more readily to the noun musal. Musal is discipline or chastisement. Musal. We use it today for ethics. To throw, yara, more commonly in the hifil hora. Lehorot, to throw, to teach, to point to something. Kana liknot, kana, he bought. Okay, so we are going to skip Thursday. No Thursday this week. We're going to go into the homework session now. Next week on Monday, we're going to go through June 9th, the David story and lesson 23 in Seow. And then the homework lesson on Thursday. This is tonight's homework for lesson 21. Colton, do you have the strength to stay with me? Maybe we should skip through as much as we can.
I'm with you.
All right. Vaitzok, can you just send James? Was he planning to be there, or is he working?
No, I think he was planning to be there. I will send him a message though.
All right. Tell him he can join us, and we'll move over there in a few minutes.
Okay.
Vaitzok is he sprinkled, I think. Isn't that hitzik? Vaitzok. No, this is Yitzok. Isn't this related to sprinkling? How do I not recognize this word?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Vaitzok. 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 Shemen al rosho. Poured. Not sprinkled, but poured. He poured. In modern Hebrew, we don't use this. We use limzog. Limzog is to pour. But the word mutzak, which is related to this, means solid for some reason. Mutzak. Vaitzok is a vav consecutive. Vaiktol, the kol yatzak. Next one. Hava.
Oh, you want me to do it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hava is it's the imperative second person singular, is that right? Second singular imperative of
yes.
Means
it's a long form imperative, right?
Yeah, it's a long form imperative from Yahav. I know that.
Yahav. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it means normally come on. Like, let's do it.
Let's go.
Ali is the second person feminine singular imperative of Allah, going up, so it means go up. Ali.
Your screen still is only showing 2 for me.
Really? I'm showing 4 for me.
Yeah. There it is. Sorry, Yasem is the Yiktol, third masculine singular.
Not
Joseph,
Yitol. Yeah,
Joseph,
Joseph.
sorry. Third masculine singular from Sum. Asum.
Oh,
Asim.
Lasim.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So let him put. Ya'al. Ya'al is the Joseph from Allah. Let him go up. Let him go up. It could also be Ifil, by the way. It could be let him send up or bring up.
Okay, and then Tana is long form imperative from Natan, second masculine singular.
Yeah. And the short form is?
10.
10. Nitzor, I preached about this last week. Litzor is like lishmo, to keep. Nitzor is imperative. If you're going to give imperative persons, then it's a second person. A second person, masculine singular. Nitzor, keep.
Havu is the second masculine plural of Yahav, meaning come on, y'all.
Yeah. It's like, give it some gas. Go for it. Let's go. Give.
Yeah.
Okay. Ya'as. Ya'as is like ya'al. It's Qal. Third masculine singular Joseph of Ya'ase, of Asa. Asa. So it means let him do. Let him make.
And then Ale is the second masculine singular imperative of Allah, means go up.
Go up, Moses, go up. Jonathan doesn't like to say second person masculine singular for imperatives.
I know.
He says all imperatives are second person.
Not in
it's
Greek,
not true in Greek.
Yeah,
because Greek you've got third person. Yeah. Okay. Which is what we use for the Joseph. Vatanach. Vatanach is from Nuach, lanuach, to rest. Vatanach, and you rested. Vatanach. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Vatanach, you rested.
Yeah. Nuach.
It could also be she rested, by the way. You rested. Like in Genesis 8:4, Vatanach hativa b'chodesh hashvi'i b'shiv'asar yom lachodesh al harei Ararat. The ark rested in the seventh month, in the 17th day of the month, on the mountains of Ararat.
Yashet. This is the third masculine singular Joseph of sheet, meaning let him sit.
Yes. I used to, you have word filters on certain websites, right? And I used to have a hard time getting the word Peshita, like the Aramaic translation of the Bible, Peshita, onto these websites because it would block out half of the word. And I had to figure out creative ways to write Peshita and also Bereshit, like so this word Yashit would also have been trouble for those websites.
What, I mean, is it just the oh, okay.
It would look for the combination SHIT and would block it, like it would put kochaviot, like stars. Tet is from Nata. This is funny because only one of the root letters is left. So it would be in the future Tita. But then the hay drops off for the imperative, which drops the dagesh, that was the noon assimilated, and then the vowel colors to tet, which means turn aside, as an imperative.
In Shita is the long form imperative from Lashit, and it means to sit.
Yeah, sit. So it comes from, it's in the verse, I have set the Lord always before me because he is at my right hand. I shall not be afraid, I think it says. So vayashet, and he put. It's yashit, vayashet. So yashet, vayashet.
Shiru. Shiru is the masculine plural imperative from shir, which is to sing. So y'all sing.
Sing ye to the Lord. Shiu Chadash.
Shout to
Sing a new
the
song.
Lord. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Zochra. This is long form imperative. Zochra, remember. The short form would be zchor. Zayin with shva, chaf, cholam, resh. Zchor. And this is zochra.
And then Yakom is the third masculine singular Joseph of Kum, meaning let him stand.
Let him arise. Shuva, return. This is long form imperative like shuv, return, come back.
And then Vayitzku is the Vayiktol of
Poor.
Oh,
The same
okay.
one as number one.
Okay. God, thank you. And this is the third masculine plural. So they poured.
They poured. Probably like they poured out the blood and all that. Vaital means I will be pure. Taho. I will be pure. Not I will be, I was. I was. Vaital. I became pure. I was pure. All right. So in this one, we need to write the following in Hebrew using only consecutive forms. I don't think we're going to do that because we don't have time for that. Shir, masculine singular imperative. Shir.
Well,
Imperative masculine singular of build. B'nai.
James said that he didn't know that he would make it tonight. He got home late, so
that's okay. We have a lot of reading to do. So
yeah.
Shir is imperative. B'nai is imperative. Mut, Joseph, Yamot. Third masculine singular, Yamot. You want to do this?
Sure. Call imperative masculine singular of mut is mut.
Call imperative masculine of shata is shte. Shte.
Call imperative masculine plural of asa is asu.
Asu with the reduced first vowel. Chataf patach. Asu. I'll write that one. There's the difference between asu, they did. They did. Asu and asu, do it. This is imperative. Asu. Okay. All right. Shuv in the third Joseph. Yashov. Yashov.
Third.
The feminine. Sorry, it's third, so it's tashov.
Yeah. Call imperative masculine plural of ra'ah is ra'u.
Imperative masculine singular of chaya is chaye. Chaye. Okay. Ye. Chaye.
Isn't it with a segel or a sere instead of a segel?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Chaye. We don't say that. We say tichye.
Yeah. Call imperative masculine plural of haya would be hihu.
Heyu.
Heyu.
Okay. Because of Aramaic influence, instead of heyu, you will see in Jewish religious texts hevu.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hevu. Yeah. There's a lot of weird things with Aramaic too, because if the root is hava, and you want the future, you would think it would be Yahava or whatever. They don't want that because it's God's name, so they say Leheve.
Yeah,
Leheve. Leheve is the future. He will be.
Call
imperative. Oh, we missed the Heye. Oh, no, we said it. Heyu. Okay. Yeah. So this is Nata, imperative, masculine singular, Nite. Nite.
Called Joseph, third masculine singular of Yeshav would be Yeshiv?
Yeshiv, yes. Yeshiv. Brilliant. That's how I told us to write them. Okay, so the imperative masculine plural of yashav is shvu. 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 Sit.
And then call imperative masculine plural of shuv is shuvu.
Shuvu. Great. Call imperative feminine singular of yashav is shvi. Shvi. Teshev, teshuvi, shvi. Okay.
Call imperative feminine singular of shuv is shuvi.
Shuvi. Call imperative feminine singular of halach is lechi. Lechi. Most Israelis do not say lechi, they say lechi. Lechi. Lechi, lechi. Also with red, we're supposed to say redi. Like to my cat is feminine. So I told her, redi me'ashulchan, get off the table. Redi. But she doesn't understand redi, so I tell her ready, and she gets down.
Yeah. Okay. Call imperative masculine singular of lakach is kach.
Kach. Mm-hmm. And call imperative masculine plural of nasa is se'u. 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 It's se'u. Se'u. Most people just say su, but you're supposed to say se'u. Last one?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the last one. Call imperative masculine plural of natan is tenu.
Tenu. Great. So the last bit of this, the homework, is the reading of 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 4 through 15.
Okay.
Wow. What, okay?
Did
you say okay?
You just said okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is the whole text, and that looks like a wall of text for beginning Hebrew students. I know, but you're going to learn so much more Hebrew if you practice reading. So this is our section. Verse 4 says, Vayelech hamelech giv'ona lizboach sham ki hi habama hagdola 1,000 olot ya'ale Shlomo al hamizbeach hahu. Okay, let's go through it kind of slow. He went, this should be pretty clear. Vayelech, halach, he went. The subject is here, hamelech, the king. The king went, Giv'ona, to Giv'on. Giv'on, Gibeon. Is like if you think of how to transliterate it, Giv'on. Okay, so we're going to say Gib. And the ayin is going to take on the I, and it's E-on, Gibeon. That's the name of a place. So the king went to Gibeon. Why did he go? To sacrifice there. He went there to sacrifice. The king went to Gibeon, Giv'ona, Lizboach Sham. Lizboach, to offer a sacrifice. We see this a lot in the beginning of the Samuel record, where Samuel? Yes, Samuel's father went to Shiloh to offer a sacrifice. Okay, Lizboach. Because he refers to Giv'on, because it's what is at Giv'on is the high place, Abama. Bamot are places where you would offer sacrifices on the hills, because how do you want God to see you? Is you go up somewhere high so that God can see you when you're offering your sacrifices. So throughout the high places of the land of Israel, people built makeshift temples. And some of them were larger than others. But in this case, Giv'on was the big high place, Habama Hagdola, meaning the biggest one. It's the biggest high place in Israel where people would offer sacrifices, okay? 1,000 olot, 1,000 burnt offerings, ya'ale. Okay, so this is the direct object, 1,000 olot, 1,000 sacrifices, verb in second position, and the subject dropped back behind it. This is what I was talking about, the word order. So the 1000 olot, 1,000 burnt offerings, was pulled to the front as focus. 1000 olot, 1,000 sacrifices would he make go up. Ya'aleh here is hifil. It is not kal. He would bring up. Shlomo would bring up 1,000 sacrifices upon that altar. Okay, he would put 1,000 animals on that altar to sacrifice. That's why it's the big high place. All right. Do you want to read through? Bye, Mama. My mom says goodbye.
Sure.
And
Sure.
HTFT. If you could give me something to say, like it's hiftif, hiftaf, haftaf. If I could say something, it would be nicer than reading HTFT. He says that Giv'ona is like Gibeon word, and that's true.
Yeah.
Like Habaita, house word, homeward bound. Lechi is imperative. Hayu is imperative. Asu, I think it's Hayu, not Hayu, but either one. I think you're going to find both. Number 5.
Sure. Bagivon nira Adonai el Shlomo.
Okay, what can you tell us about the word order? Begivon nir Adonai el Shlomo.
We're fronted with a place at the beginning.
We are fronting a place. So in Gibeon, like this is why. Where did God appear to him? He appeared to him in Gibeon.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to.
So where's the verb?
Second position.
Second position. The verb is in second position, and the subject falls in behind it. This is what we're talking about word order. When you read, try to notice the word order. Begivon nir Adonai.
Yeah. El Shlomo. And then Bachalom halayla vayomer Elohim she'alma etein lach.
She'alma etein lecha. Oh, lach.
Yeah. And then so the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream, of the night. And God said, "Ask, what should I give to you?"
Ask what I should give to you. Vayomer Shlomo. Oh, anything you want to say about that? Sorry.
All right, so you'll notice that I translated the aten as a just like with a deliberative kind of thing behind it, Joseph behind it. And then just because he's not asking him, ask what will I give? He's asking, but like he's not asking from Solomon to ask for will he do it or not, but he's going to do it. So what should it be? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. It could be funny.
Help me say so people understand it.
It could be funny that he's like hiding it, and he's like, "Ask what I'm gonna give you. Ask what I'm gonna give you."
Right.
But I think it's more intention. Ask what I should give you.
Right. Yeah. And we only know that from context. Like theoretically, that could be what's happening, but it just doesn't seem to fit the context of the situation, right? But yeah, that's the only thing I'd say. The Bach Chalom, it took me a second to decide. It probably should be. I mean, in English, we probably still say "in a dream of the night," but it is in construct. So it probably
the grammars would tell you that the entirety of the construct phrase needs to be indefinite.
Yes, exactly. But in English, it'd still bring it across that way. So the whole construct phrase is definite. That's why I went back and forth and bubbled around like a dummy. But the Bach
I would also. It's like, is it in the night dream? In the dream of the night?
But that's about it. That's the only thing I have to say about it. I'm
wrestling with how to pronounce So he says, or she maybe, I don't know. You teach Semitic languages. I can't deal with my name not having any vowels. And then just added all schvaz to this.
I don't know who it is, but I like the sense of humor.
It's good. It's good. So, verse 6, we are right there. Verse 6, Vayomer Shlomo. Okay, Shlomo said, Ata, this is pulling focus and emphasis because we don't need it. You could say, Asita, Asita. But Ata Asita, im avdecha David avi, Chesed Gadol. Chesed Gadol. Okay, you yourself did with your servant David, my father, a great mercy. Like you really were very kind with my father David, your servant. Because we like to, even if he weren't his servant, they like to say your servant, as politeness. Ka'asher halach lefanecha be'emet uvitzdaka. Okay, just as he walked before you in truth and in righteousness. כאשר הלך לפניך באמת ובצדקה, ובישרת לב עמך, and in straightness of heart with you, with uprightness of heart with you. ישרת לב, ישרת לבב, סליחה. ישרת לבב עמך, with you. Okay, so just as you were nice to David, you were kind to him, ותשמור לו את החסד, ותשמור לו את החסד הגדול הזה, this great kindness, just, and you kept for him this great kindness, ותיתן לו בן יושב על כיסו, יושב על כיסו כיום הזה. Okay, so this is the kindness that he was talking. Remember, David cheated on his, or David slept with a married woman and had a baby by her, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, and that baby died because David set it up so that Uriah was also killed. So he did these things that were not so upright, but he repented and he came back. Repentance is virtue in the Hebrew Bible. So he came back, and one of the things that God promised David was that he would keep faithfulness with him. This is the idea of chesed, faithfulness, loving kindness, mercy, and that he would allow his son to sit on his throne, that the Davidic dynasty and kingdom would be continued after David's death. And he's recalling that this allowing his son to take his place on his throne is the great kindness that God had afforded to him. Even though that baby with the first baby died, David's son came through the same woman and took the throne, which was great kindness. Bathsheba, right? Bathsheba was the mother of Shlomo. Right?
Yes.
Am I preaching correctly? I
Yes. No.
you know me. I don't know.
No. Everything you said was right. Yeah. The first son died because of the because of
great
what David
wickedness that he had done, right?
Yeah, and then
so if he did that today, you'd be pretty mad at him. But David repented, and he was forgiven.
Oh wow! I didn't realize we don't even get a name for that baby. Wow.
Yeah.
The first one. Sorry.
So again,
that one was new to me. I didn't realize that.
Again, verse 6, ויאמר שלמה, אתה עשית עם עבדך דוד אבי חסד גדול, כאשר הלך לפניך באמת ובצדקה ובישרת לבב עמך. Okay? The כאשר here is almost like because. Okay? You did a great kindness to him because he walked before you in truth and righteousness and uprightness of heart. Vatishmor lo, and you preserved for him, you saved for him this great kindness, in that you put for him a son, or you gave him a son sitting upon his throne as this day, or according to this day. It means even this very day. Okay, kayom hazeh. By the way, when we attach ka to a time, like kayom means like nowadays. Kayom is nowadays, according to the day, nowadays. Karega, according to the moment, which means this moment, right now. Karega. All right, verse 7. And I'll stop preaching.
Ve'ata Adonai Elohai, ata himlachta et avdecha tachat David avi, va'anochi na'ar katon lo edat set vavo.
All right, so who is Avdecha here and who is Avdecha here?
Solomon. So the first one is David. The second one's Solomon.
Yeah, Avdecha David Avi, your servant David my father, and then Avdecha Tachat David Avi, your servant in place of David my father, which is me, Solomon.
Now, and he says, now the Lord my God, you have made me to rule. You have made your servant to rule in place of David my father. Va'anochi na'ar katon, and I am a young man.
I'm a little boy. Vani na'ar katon. I'm a little boy.
Yeah, lo edat set vavo. I do not know how to go out or to come in and to come in.
Yeah, probably referring to the idea that men would go out for two functions. They would go out for hunting to bring back food for the city, for the people, or they would go out for war. And he's like, I'm skilled in these things that men do.
Yeah, funny. Sorry, just in terms of the interesting part about that phrase is that David did not go out to war in the time of the year that he was supposed to when he saw Bathsheba. That's God. I couldn't think of her name.
Yeah, he sent the men out to fight, but he stayed back and did.
At the time of the year in which the kings would go to war, David stayed
that's
home.
True.
Yeah, it's just funny that he mentioned that that's his reason, Solomon's reason for speaking the way
and
he did.
We're going to get to that section too, because we're reading the lifetime of David and all that. Great. So verse 8, V'avdecha betoch amcha asher bacharta, am rav asher lo yimane velo yisafer merov. Okay, I know that's a lot of reading. Let's try to slow it down a little bit. Ve'avdecha, and your slave. Okay, he's still talking of himself in this self-humiliating fashion. Lord, slave, and your slave in the midst of, or is in the midst of your people, which you have chosen, a great people, Am Rav, which lo yimane, will not be counted. Okay, you might remember from Daniel where the finger wrote on the wall and he said, Mene, tekelu farsin. Okay, Mene, tekelu farsin. Remember? Yes? Okay, so
yes,
Mene,
sorry, I'm shaking my head, and I bet you can't see my head, can you?
So Mene is abbreviated form for what he said. You have been weighed and found wanting. It's from this word it's pia lemanot. Lemanot is to count something, and the nifal is the passive. Nimna. Yimane. It will be counted. When you go in a taxi in Israel, when you get in a taxi, you want to tell them to turn on the moneh. Moneh is the meter. It's the thing that counts the time. And so if they don't do that, they'll probably rip you off. You need to tell them tafil et hamone. Tafil et hamone. Turn on the meter. So lo yimane means it will not be reckoned or counted. Okay. Velo yisafer is the passive nifal also. We haven't gotten to nifal yet, but it's the nifal of lispor, to count. To count. And then why can't they be counted? Merov, from abundance, like there are too many of them to be counted. Okay, so your servant is among your people whom you have chosen, a great people that cannot be counted or counted because there are so many. It's neat that we have the synonym in Hebrew, lihimanot and lihisafer, but both of them basically mean the same thing. You can't count them out because there are so many of them. All right, we are in verse 9.
ונתת לעבדך לב שומע לשפוט את עמך, להבין בין טוב לרע. כי מי יוכל לשפוט את עמך הכבד הזה?
Yes.
Okay. Break it down. ונתת לעבדך לב שומע שומע. Let's do that. לשפוט את עמך. Okay. And you will give to your servant a heart which, okay, wait, does this start with an if before this?
There isn't, but you can definitely take from this the answer to the question. He said, ask what I will give you. And he says, v'natata le'avdecha, and you will give to your servant. Like it's acting like an imperative. Give.
Yeah. Like if you would give to your servant a heart, which a hearing.
A hearing heart.
Yeah. A hearing heart.
Instead of shomea today, we would use a different word. It's kashuv. Kashuv. Kashuv is from hakshava, lakshiv, to listen. Kashuv.
A hearing heart to judge your people. Lishpot et amcha. Lehabin ben tov lara. To know the difference, quote, in parentheses, between good and bad. Good and evil. Ki mi yuchal lishpot et amcha hakaved hazeh. For who is able to judge your people, your great people, this one.
Yeah.
This great people of yours.
People of yours.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, how do I put that in English? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Give your servant a listening heart. Probably a discerning heart. Like if you're listening, you're discerning, you pay attention to judge or to rule your people, to judge them, to understand between good and evil. And because who's able really to judge or to rule your heavy people? Meaning your heavy is so great. Because he already told how many people are. Vayitav davar be'inei Adonai. Adonai again is the name of God. That kamatz there means that it's God. So the thing was good, or the word, what he said was good in the eyes of God. Ki sha'al shlomo. Ki takes first position, verb takes second position, and then the subject. Okay. Ki sha'al shlomo et hadavar hazeh. Okay, it was the matter was good in the eyes of the Lord, for Samuel asked this thing. God wanted him to ask this, right? It's a good thing. Okay, verse 11.
11. Vayomer Elohim elav, Ya'an asher sha'alta et hadavar.
I know that looks bad. That accent there is actually post positive, and the stress is here. Ya'an.
Yeah, Ya'an asher sha'alta et hadavar hazeh, v'lo sha'alta lecha yamim rabim, v'lo sha'alta lecha osher, v'lo sha'alta nefesh oivecha, ושאלת לך הבין לשמוע משפט. Okay, sorry, it was longer than I thought it was. All right. ויאמר אלוהים אליו. So the Lord said to him, יען אשר שאלת את הדבר הזה.
Ya'an asher is just like key, because.
Okay. Because, that ya'an. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Because you have asked this thing. وَلَوْ شَاءَتْ لَكَ يَمِيمْ رَبِيمْ, and you did not ask for length of your many days. وَلَوْ شَاءَتْ لَكَ, did not ask for yourself many days, excuse me. And you did not ask for yourself riches or shir.
And osher is also wealth. Osher.
Wealth, yeah.
When somebody gets married, we wish them that they will have a long life, be'osher uve'osher, in happiness and in wealth. So happiness is osher with aleph. Happiness, like me'ushar, ashrei. Osher. Osher.
Oh, yeah.
And wealth is osher with ayin.
Yeah, ashrei ha'ish.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, sorry, where was I? V'lo sha'alta nefesh oivecha. You did not ask for the life of your enemies.
In other words, to kill them. Like if you're thinking of Aladdin and Genie, he's like, I can't kill anyone, it's like,
yeah. Yeah.
What would you ask from God? If he gave you one wish, what would you ask from God? And he's like, you didn't ask to kill your enemies, and you didn't ask for wealth. It's like Genie, right?
Yeah.
Long life.
I wish for a genie to give me 3 more wishes. I'm just kidding. V'sha'alta lecha habin lishmoa mishpat. But you asked for yourself to understand and to understand how to hear justice justly.
For judgment.
Yeah.
All right. Hine asiti kidvarecha. Behold, I have done according to your words. Hine asiti kidvarecha. Hine natati lecha lev chacham v'navon. Behold, I have given to you a heart wise and understanding. Navon, chacham v'navon. Asher kamocha lo haya lefanecha. Because, this asher is like because, like you there was not before you. There was none like you before you. Ve'acharecha lo yakum kamocha. Ve'acharecha lo yakum kamocha. And after you, no one will arise like you. So there was no one like you before you, and no one will arise after you that's like you. And I think that's הנה עשיתי כדבריך, הנה נתתי לך לב חכם ונבון, אשר כמוך לא היה לפניך, ואחריך לא יקום כמוך. Okay, so it also is probably tied to the lev chacham v'navon, saying that I've given you a wise and understanding heart, and with regard to the wisdom and understanding, there would be none like you before or after. In other words, you're the wisest ever that will exist.
Yeah. Okay. 13. וגם אשר לא שאלת נתתי לך. גם אושר, גם כבוד.
Osher.
Sorry, yeah. גם אושר, גם כבוד. אשר לא היה כמוך איש במלכים כל ימיך. And also, what you did not ask, I will give to you, even wealth and glory.
I've given you.
I have given to you. I am giving you. Okay, sure. Even so, wealth and glory, which there has not been like you, any man among the kings of all your days.
Yeah. All right. I can't say your name. Sorry. Said that this is a chiastic structure, and it really is. Kamocha here is the first element. We would call it A. Then loaya it would be B, and lefanecha is C. In this case, acharecha is in opposition to lefanecha as C, and then lo yakum is like lo haya, and kamocha is again A. So it's A, B, C, C, B, A, which is chiastic. Chiastic means that it forms, if you have A, B, C, the next line would be C, B, A, and you're able to cross through them. Chiasm is a cross that's formed by the arrangement of the words. Very nice. My favorite chiasm is Jeremiah 10:11 in Aramaic. Really good. Or genie. That's what I was asking from the genie. An Apple Watch, a Samsung watch. Oh my goodness. No, not Samsung. I used to have a Samsung watch. I used to be an Android person, and I hated the watch. The watch was awful. My Apple Watch is my heart and soul. Heart and soul. Okay, good. So verse 14. Ve'im telech bidrachai lishmor chukai umitzvotai kasher alach David avicha. Notice the spelling of David with that yod. That is very unusual for Samuel and Kings, but it is the common spelling in Chronicles. Alach David avicha ve'ha'arachti et yamecha. Okay, this is if, and this is then. Okay, so if you go in my ways, you walk in my ways to keep my laws and my commandments, even as David your father went in my ways, right? So again, this is position 1, the asher. Position 2 is the verb, and the subject falls in behind. Always look at the word order. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. If you walk in my ways, then I will, ha'arachti, I will make long your days. Also, one of the 10 commandments, honor your father and mother, comes along with this promise that if you honor your mother and father, I will make your days long on the land which I've sworn to give to your fathers. Okay, so there's a promise associated with honoring your parents. It's the only one of the 10 commandments that has such a thing. Anyway, number 15. All of this was in the dream. All of this discussion back and forth between Solomon and God was in the Chalom Halayla.
ויקץ שלמה, והנה חלום, ויבוא ירושלים, ויעמוד לפני ארון ברית אדוני, ויעל על עולות, ויעש שלמה, ויעש משתה לכל עבדיו. Vayikatz Shlomo, vahine chalom. Solomon woke up, and behold, a dream. Mm-hmm. It was.
So he woke up, and look, it was a dream. Okay. I'm missing the chirik there. I apologize. That's part of the font, and I didn't correct it.
It's all right. And he came to Jerusalem.
He entered Jerusalem.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He entered Jerusalem, and he stood before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, Vaya al Olot, and he offered sacrifices, Vaya Ashlom Shelamim, and he made peace offerings, Vaya As Mishteh Lecho Avdav, and he made a feast for all of his servants.
Yeah, he made a feast for his slaves. All right, brilliant. That is a lot of reading. Ooh. Good job.
You're right. It is a lot to expect from
Hebrew
beginner
learners.
students. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I think that if you spend time in the reading, that's the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, everything will be easier, but it's just like,
Yeah.
It's a lot of upfront stuff. There's smaller steps that can be made.
Yeah. Any feedback from those people out there who was watching and paying attention and maybe has something on their mind they want to share? We totally blew through the third hour. I don't know if you got the strength or James got the strength to meet us. It's kind of late.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it, and I think because he's going to do that thing at 9. I don't really see any reason because to go ahead. It's all right. It's fine by me.
Yeah. We covered so much. Much.
If we have time this week,
says,
yeah.
It says thanks for the free learning. It's not totally free if you want to come and sign up on Patreon. Patreon.com/Hebrew Cafe, and you could totally get on screen with Colton. And then you feel like you're masters. Yes. Huh?
I said I am a master. I'm just kidding.
You are. I am not. I'm a bachelor, and that is true. E. Taylor says, appreciate your session. This was awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I don't know who you are. So please hang out some more and let us see your name and your face if you want to come up on the screen with us. It's nice to have everybody. We appreciate you all so much.
And you can join the Discord server.
Yes. Let's throw that up because people need to know. The HebrewCafe.com/Discord is absolutely free. And you can come up and talk to us anytime. And we got a lot of people over there that probably have more skills than I do. Like they don't know Hebrew better, but they have more skills at learning languages and stuff. They can help you out. And of course, that's patreon.com/thehebrewcafe. So come and give us your your attention. And it was so nice to have you guys. I really appreciate it. And so we look forward to seeing you next week. Again,
absolutely.
No lesson on Thursday, so please remember that and don't show up.
See you Monday.
All right. See you Monday. תודה רבה לכולם.